This question is for all the women out there. How the fuck y'all deal with us? I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of all men everywhere.
Species.
I'm so fucking sorry. How the fuck y'all deal with us? Because I'm annoyed. That's why I was never friends with no dudes in school. Because it was all ridiculous.
I could say something right here, but I don't.
What? We supposed to say everything and anything.
Pussy make the world go round.
Yes, it does.
Yes, the fuck it does.
One thing I forgot to mention about Doechii is apparently Doechii was trying out for The Voice, and she spent everything she had to get a one-way ticket to New York to go audition.
She auditioned for The Voice?
Mm-hmm. And she didn't get it.
Wow.
And she had no way to get back home, and she was sleeping in the McDonald's in New York City. Welcome back to the Pragmotiv podcast, where every week we tell it like it is and get you motivated to be the change you seek. We're your hosts, Trey.
It's Cameron.
And Steph.
And welcome to episode 4. Today's theme is not all influencers should influence.
They should.
So listen, y'all. Today we are diving deep into the chaos that is pop culture right now. Because honestly, what the fuck is going on?
For real.
We're talking everything from the heated debates over Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion to Diddy and Halle to that horrifying situation between Diddy and Cassie, and then asking the bigger question, why do we treat celebrities like gods in this country? To me, it's cool to admire someone's talent, but the way people go to war online defending someone just because they're famous, even when it's obvious that they're dead wrong.
And
Right?
you ain't never
It's
even
just
met
wild
them.
to me.
You ain't never even met them. But yeah, you on here like, oh, Nikki is the best. Okay. So you say.
Some people might say she's not the best.
Why Nikki?
Why Nikki?
She was the first thing that came to my mind.
What?
You gonna have them barbs coming after us. And Nikki ain't even did nothing right now.
No, she ain't did nothing, but I just used her as an example because she just came up in my mind. She was the first thing that popped in my mind, so I said it.
Oh, okay. But no, but to that point, like if I see Beyonce or LeBron in the elevator, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God. I'll probably ask them, oh, it's nice to meet you. How you doing? But I'm not gonna freak out.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
is that? Why do people do that?
I don't know, fangirling, people call it.
Yeah.
Fangirling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a new term. Fangirling.
Is that borderline
I mean,
sexist?
they just people.
Yeah, why is it fangirling? You could fanboying sometimes.
They talk about fanboys too. But for real though, they're just people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, you could admire.
I mean, I
what
would
they
be
do, but-
honored to meet some people,
Yeah.
and it would be fun to meet some people
Yeah.
that you watch on television, or that you idolize or that you feel like is, like I would love to meet Michelle and Barack Obama, but I'm not going to faint.
And I
Yeah.
feel like when you do meet people of that stature and you go up to them and you fainting and you like, oh my God, they are going to be like, what the hell is wrong with this weird ass motherfucker?
At least that's what I would do.
Sometimes they used to it though, because they used to, if you've been in the public eye, you're used to people doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, or maybe not. I could be wrong. I mean, you think, say like Chris Brown, you think he's used to girls running up to him or like trying to get at him or?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I guess it really does just come with the territory. But to me, it's like, as a whole, we need to do better. Like, we're not supposed to have,
Kings.
kings,
And that's basically how we
idols, false gods. Like, come on,
Yeah.
y'all.
Because I really think that's the crux behind Donald Trump's popular,
And I noticed that with
because
everybody.
he was a
People-
celebrity, quote unquote, before.
And people, ever since, and it's not Barack's fault, but ever since Barack Obama, that's when the president really became famous, like a celebrity. And I think that that's not good, because now we're putting even our political people who's supposed to represent us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People
We're
who
putting them
traditionally wasn't
on-
really popular or.
Yeah,
You
we're
know.
putting them on pedestals now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back in the 60s, they really did idolize the Kennedy family, and they called it Camelot. You know, it's like they really idolized John F. Kennedy and the family. So they put them way up on the pedestal, and then when he was killed, it was like the nation just really,
Yeah.
But
And that's probably why they elected his vice president by 480 or 420 electoral
that's how
votes.
much it was. Funny how you know
How
that.
he keep that shit in his head like
I-
that?
No,
I mean-
it was HW that was 426.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so LBJ was like 489, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe that was Reagan. I know it was up there.
Reagan had a lot. I think he had like 500.
The second term. He had 535 the second term.
Oh.
All right, so let's dive into it. Let's unpack this madness, because y'all, it's time we stop confusing fame with flawlessness.
Right? Because fame does not equal flawlessness. Just because you're famous don't mean
Yeah.
you're perfect.
Especially not for some people out there.
So guess who's back in the news again?
Aiden motherfucking Ross.
motherfucking Ross.
Why does this guy's name keep coming up?
I don't know. His Sid from fucking...
I mean, I really
Ice Age
just
looking
learned
ass.
about him because I don't know the whole, what does he do again? Streaming?
What does he do again? Y'all, please leave it in the comments.
People say the Kardashians are famous for nothing. I don't agree with that. This motherfucker is the epitome of being famous for
Yeah, because
fucking
like
nothing.
Kendall Jenner is a model.
Uh-huh.
What's the other girl's name that has the makeup?
Kylie.
Kylie. She,
All stemming
so
from
they
Kim.
do stuff. What does he
But
do?
people say that about the Kardashians, but now I'm adding Aiden Ross to that.
All right, so help your mama out. What is streaming? I'm trying to wrap my brain around this.
Some people get on stream and they'll play like a video game. So people
Yeah.
will tune in to
So-
watch them achieve the different levels in the video game. Other people do IRL streaming or in real life streaming.
It's like vlogging,
And
but
they'll
live.
just go to the store and stream. And people... Your face. People will watch them do that.
So if I could stream myself painting artwork,
yeah.
and this is a thing. I mean, I know
And
I
then-
sound like I'm ancient, but I just don't understand how y'all say he's the number one streamer.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
And for the love of all
you
that
say
is holy in this
he
world, do
lost
not make
like
him.
7 figures
Yeah.
in the stock market, so
This
he
is
what
had
he
to
figured.
have 7 figures to lose.
He said 8 figure.
Yeah, this
Like-
is what he said.
The model behind it is people give you what they call super chats. It's like gifting. So people gift their money in the form of a super chat. Like where they message gets to the top where the person can see it. And then they get shouted out. So they get $5 here, $10 there. Some people give $100.
So they're buying their way to the top of the chat to get recognized by somebody they probably will never meet.
Yeah. And then people like Aiden take it and they live on it. That's how Cassie and I make money. That's how man, who
So it's a
else
little
streams?
different than
It's different from YouTube. It's no
so it's not just the
they
advertising
run-
revenue.
They run ads on it too. On Twitch. I don't know
But
what
these
Kick does.
people like Cassie and Aiden Ross, they are celebrities, quote unquote.
Yeah, I would say Kai Cenat is
Unfortunately.
a celebrity.
No,
Yeah, I've seen him on commercials.
Is fine. Casanat is his content is good and he seems like a good person. But Aiden Ross, hell no.
Well, and here's the reason. Like, we have problem with Aiden Ross.
Yeah.
So apparently this bitch decided he would disrespect Doechii by calling her a bitch because she was upset that her staff let her Met Gala outfit get leaked to the press while prepping for the show. So go ahead on Cameron and roll the clip.
So he
go ahead.
disrespected
Wait a minute.
Doechii. Wait, let me take my earrings off. Because I like Doechii. I like her music.
And she has a really good story. Oh, not good story, but you know what I mean. A really touching story about how she's come from where she was and gotten to where she is. So
I think she got mad rap skills.
yeah, she is way more talented than him.
She got more talent
She-
in her little finger than this guy has in his whole body, from what I've seen of him.
So let's go ahead on and roll the clip, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Look at this. So they. Ooh. Doechii.
Yes, I'm ready. Give me another. No, stop. Give me another umbrella now. Another one right there, and another. Whoa. I need another one.
Another umbrella.
I need four fucking umbrellas. Two
umbrellas.
Because I'm trying to see the umbrella. Anybody? Right there.
Two more umbrellas.
So ready. All right, make a path, everyone.
Clear a path.
Move.
Clear a path here. Clear a path.
And do not let that one umbrella. I will not.
You look great. You're gonna have to move.
Okay, so after this happened, as you could see, she was not ready to be photographed.
Right. And so what I'm told is, or what I read, or somebody told me, whatever. When you have a brand deal, when you're representing a company, the whole idea is for that outfit to be debuted at a certain event.
You debut it on the red carpet.
Right. So they don't want it to leak
And they
before
work
you
on
get to the
this.
red carpet.
They work on these things like for months in advance. So you don't get tickets to the Met Gala.
Yeah, you don't
You
buy
are
them,
invited.
You're invited.
by the brand. The brand has the tickets from what I read. So for her to have this leak like this,
Right.
it puts all of her brand,
all of
all
her
of her
future,
money
in
jeopardy.
jeopardy.
And
Because
coming
if
from where she
she-
comes from, that is stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she couldn't, I think this is the first time she's been to the Met Gala.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is her
Yeah.
first time.
And so in order for her to get future brand deals, she's got to prove to the brand that she can do it the way they require and do it the way they need it done in order for their, event and their debut of this particular outfit, whether you like the outfit or not, because I've heard some people saying, "Oh, it wasn't even worth that. But it's not all about, it's
I
not
thought-
that serious."
I thought
No, it is serious.
Money wise.
It is
It
serious.
is serious because it's
Yeah.
serious.
It looked good
because
to me.
it's a contractual arrangement that she has with a major brand.
Yeah, with Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Artists do not make money on these record streams.
No.
The way they make money is through things like this and concerts.
Yep. And everybody's criticizing her because they say,
Yeah, calling the girl a bitch, an industry plant, and all that.
Well, before we go ahead on into that, let's play what the fuck dumbass Aiden
Yeah,
Ross.
I just want to say this one thing before I forget it. All the other celebrities like Jenna Ortega and Sabrina Carpenter and all of them had jackets and stuff to cover what they
Yeah.
were wearing. But this is this girl's first time.
and she
Right.
probably
These
didn't
other
know
artists,
about all of that stuff.
yeah, she probably didn't know about all of this. All those other artists have been to the Met Gala. Other people have been to the Met Gala at least once, where they know, okay, I have to hide what I'm wearing, so I'm gonna wear this overcoat or this trench coat or whatever. She probably didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's the girl's first time.
Nah.
And her staff.
Why is the
Are they professionals? They should know that.
They should have known that.
But again, why is the paparazzi even allowed in the hotel?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Like,
they
that's not
probably
public
booking
property.
rooms in the same hotel, so you can't tell them not to be in there. But
Yeah, but you can tell
This
them
is
because it
crazy.
is private property that
Not
you
to
can't
photograph.
photograph.
yeah,
But people just let the damn paparazzi run amok and do whatever they want.
Yeah, that's how
when
Princess
they
Diana was killed.
don't have the right to film on private property. Now, when they out in public, that's when they can film and take
Yeah,
pictures.
that's a different story.
So we're gonna go ahead on and we're gonna pop up Doechii's outfit on the carpet right here, and then we're gonna go ahead on and put up what the fuck Aiden Ross said.
Oh, Doechii rant? Oh, dude, don't get me started on that bitch. Hey, don't get me started on that bitch. Don't get me started on that industry plant. Don't get me started. You guys can say shit, whatever you want about me, but one thing about me is I'm not an industry plant. I've been streaming for like a long time now. Fuck Doechii. The umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro. She deserves, bro. I'm not joking, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She's just the worst. She's a piece of shit. She stole someone like that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's horrible. Jake Future, what's up, my dog? So fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii. Okay? She has zero talent.
Oh, really?
So-
fuck you, and fuck you again, bitch.
So first of all, I got two things I want to say to him. Number one, you don't call Weeknd Abel. No.
That's who he was referring to when he said Abel?
Yeah.
Bitch, you wish.
that's Mr. Weeknd
like
to
you
you.
know the Weeknd. That's Mr. Tesfaye. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the man's name right. But you don't get to call him Abel.
Yeah.
What?
And secondly, bitch, you're not talented enough to be an industry plant.
What the fuck is your talent?
What the fuck do you do?
I can't with this.
Besides
the-
seeing your
the
ass
amount-
sniffing asses, your ass sniffing nasty bitch.
Yeah. That's the ass sniffer.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and we're gonna put
Oh,
that
my
clip in here
goodness.
too, just so y'all know, because we didn't play it the last time, because we wasn't like trying to drag this out and spend too much time on this motherfucker. But go ahead on.
The work is complete. Congratulations.
You know this.
I have work to do. I'm done. I fixed you.
Where are you going? And I just want to say, bro, I think I'm ready, bro.
Ready for what exactly? For him to do things to you?
That's some weird ass shit. That man was just sitting there in his drawers.
That's some
And you gonna smell the seat after he got up? Really?
I have no fucking
What
words.
is wrong with this dude?
a nasty, unfit bitch. You just ain't fit to shine nobody's shoes. I'm sick of you.
Fuck pink eye. Your ass gonna get
Your fucking nose
pink
gonna
face.
fall off.
I can't.
But the serious thing about this is the amount of anger in which he kept saying, fuck Doechii, fuck Doechii.
Yeah, like you.
You really are showing your racist,
I'm
sexist
sorry,
bias
this is pissing me off.
towards black women.
Mm-hmm.
You're always attacking black women. You're attacking Doechii. You're attacking Halle, which we'll get into later. But, you know, you don't have no problem with people like Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
He seems to always be attacking women, period, especially black women.
Mm-hmm.
So is he part of this toxic male
Oh yeah.
crew?
Yeah.
The movement, I guess it is at this
Yeah.
point.
And the problem is he streams like 12-hour plus streams to preteens, young
Yeah.
men who are watching him
You're grooming them.
and grooming them to treat women like this.
Yeah.
And it's sickening.
It's not okay to do that.
Like you got the nerve to be calling somebody untalented while you sit there doing absolutely
Right?
nothing.
Did you see
You-
her Grammy performance, you asshole?
Yeah. You telling people stop listening to her music and doing all this. If I was her, I'd sue him.
Right? I hope that make people go listen to her music more so.
Yeah, who is him to tell people to stop listening to her music? Like, you don't have the clout.
Yeah.
You don't fucking have the clout to tell people to stop listening to Doechii music. Doechii got more fucking clout than you.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why he fucking attacking her in the first place, to try to
Yeah.
get his clout up.
Yeah, right?
So I just, it's just
This shit
maddening.
pisses me off.
It does.
I mean, it's like, the fuck, dude? I mean,
And this is the kind of people that we fucking, as a collective, elevate.
yeah, this is what the
into-
algorithm elevates.
Yeah. So now the blame for Aiden Ross being famous is on these fucking companies circulating they shit.
Yeah. And then I'll just leave this here. That evil bitch Megyn Kelly had the nerve to
Oh,
call her a
please.
bitch too.
Let me play the scarecrow.
yeah, Megyn
Oh, you got
Kelly,
the
the one with the
video?
devil
Uh-huh.
sign behind her. Her graphics look.
Well, her whole company is something with the devil, something in it.
How
her media
befitting.
company. I forget what it's called. Devil May Lie or some shit like that.
Doechii, Doechii. We know her on this show only as the weird lady who decided to put like a box around her as she walked from the hotel, the Mark Hotel, out like their little mini red carpet to get into her van to be taken over to the Met Gala. And she didn't want to be seen and she didn't want to be rained on. And she turned into a massive bully, screaming at her staff, "I need another umbrella." Here it is. Watch.
Oh my God. Oh no, oh no. Yes, I'm ready. Give me another, no, stop. Give me another umbrella now. Another one, right there. And another, whoa. Need another one.
Another umbrella.
I need more fucking umbrellas.
Two more umbrellas.
Do not let that one umbrella go to the car. We're pulling over and then you just want us to wait. Okay. Move these umbrellas. I don't want these people seeing me. I got it. Move the umbrella.
Oh my God.
Right now, it's your umbrella. Yes.
You're blocked. You're blocked.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't know what happened there at the end. Doechii's an angry person. I think we can safely conclude that. And now she's trying to play it down like something like, well, when you need an umbrella, you need, like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't do anything to quell my reaction. I think most people's reaction at what a bitch she was to her staff. And it's like over an umbrella, right? Like, it's not like, oh my God, turns out I have an enormous hole in the back of my dress that shows my entire ass. Like, I would yell like that. I would. But like, you don't get me another umbrella now. Get me a fucking umbrella. This is not a nice person.
The only bitch
Okay.
is you, bitch.
Right?
First of
You
motherfucking
long
all.
face, horse face, bitch.
First of all, bitch, you ain't got much ass to hide. So let's just get that out and open. Number one. Number two, did you peep that dog whistle?
Yeah.
She's an angry person. I know you want to say
No.
black woman. I know you want to say black woman, you fucking racist bitch.
She's
I
not
don't
an
fucking
angry
like you.
person.
You
You
fucking
said that if your
scarecrow
ass
bitch.
was out, well, how about her whole shit with Louis Vuitton was on the line because somebody didn't think to block the view of the paparazzi.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You as usual, y'all telling one side, or you're clipping it to make it
then
seem to
you
fit the
attack
narrative
black people.
you want.
And then you make up shit saying, oh, she doesn't want to be rained on. No, bitch, she don't want the outfit out in front of people. It wasn't ready to be shown.
And
Her
I know they
money
know
is
that.
on the fucking
They
line.
do know that because they
But
have
of course
covered
you
the Met
wouldn't
Gala.
understand that, bitch, because you've had everything handed to you. Of course you wouldn't understand that.
And the most sinister thing is they're making this a thing because Megyn Kelly needs the views.
Mm-hmm.
and fucking dumbass, bitch ass Aiden Ross needs the views.
Yep.
So now play Aiden Ross explaining after he lost his little brand deals for being sexist and racist. This is what he had to say.
I don't care what gender or race you are. If you're disrespectful to a 9-to-5 hardworking person, it pisses me off. It's a pet peeve. You're a multimillionaire getting mad and raging and yelling at 9-to-5 workers. It's bullshit. It's wrong. I'm sorry, and I'm going to call it out for what it is. Have patience. You're blessed to be making millions of dollars doing something you love in this world. So all these people want to make it about race. It's just horrible. Stop doing this bullshit. This is the problem with the internet. It's like, it just makes it really, really fucked. I don't know how Doechii is as a human being. I don't know, and I don't really care. I'm sure she doesn't care how I am as a human being. She probably wants to kill me. I don't give a fuck. Whatever she wants to. She probably wants to smack me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Okay, motherfucker.
Well, the first thing I want to say is, bitch, you want to talk about 9-to-5 workers when you support Donald fucking Trump?
Thank you.
Nah.
How does he treat 9-to-5 workers? He
don't pay 'em.
supposedly has millions.
There's cities that have had to go after him because he ain't paying.
Second of all, I'm sure Doechii could give a fuck
About your
what the
dumb
fuck
ass.
you think.
And another thing, another piece of advice, ass sniffer, don't ever pull your hair back. Please don't. Don't fucking do it. Just leave that fucking floof or whatever the fuck it is, where the fuck it is. Don't ever do it.
All right, we don't spend enough energy on this ass sniffer, as Cameron called him.
Yeah, that's forever gonna be his name.
All right, so Chris Brown. Chris Brown has broke the internet a few weeks ago when he announced his Breezy Bowl upcoming world tour. And it was set to begin in Amsterdam on June 8th, but on May 15th, he was arrested in Manchester, England, in connection with an alleged assault that occurred at a London club in 2023. He is being charged with, quote, grievous bodily harm with intent. Whatever that means.
Yeah, that's a UK type of charge.
He was denied bail. Police say the incident was caught on surveillance video. So, what is our thoughts?
First of all, why do all of these celebrities keep getting themselves into some shit? Like, okay, if he was being an ass or whatever, because I'm sure Chris didn't do it unprovoked.
Yeah, I mean,
but then
there's
again,
a lot of opinions around Chris Brown, and
yeah, there is
it
because
just
of the
doesn't
Rihanna
seem
thing.
like,
yeah,
especially because Chris knows that people are coming for him when it comes to this kind of shit. I just really don't see him getting off a stage or hanging at a club and just being like, you know what, I'm gonna just go beat this motherfucker with a bottle.
Yeah, and as,
Yeah, that's
Allegedly.
never how that goes.
I know how it is. What was Chris? When was Chris born? May the 5th?
Yeah, the day
I'm May
after
the
you.
4th. I'm May the 4th. So us Tauruses, you gotta do something for us to be trying to throw a ball at you. I'll throw a ball at somebody
but not
too,
to say
but
that that's okay if he did in fact hit the guy with the tequila bottle.
No, it's not
But-
okay. Violence is never okay.
No.
But he
How-
had to do something.
And furthermore, why didn't his team or his people, because he's going there for
like
a concert.
he got enough money to have
Like-
somebody who hits people with bottles for him, right?
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I want
That's
guys like
not
that.
what I'm saying.
Hey,
I'm
get his
saying. I'm saying, why didn't his people know that there were charges pending? The guy filed a lawsuit. So
yeah, my ass wouldn't have been back in Manchester.
yeah, right.
Well, but see, the problem is this is how, like to Mom's point earlier, this is how these these musicians make money.
Yeah,
They're not making
the
money from
concert.
our streams. They're not making money from album sales, which who's buying music anymore? Anyway.
Right.
So what they have to do is go on tours. That's
get
where
brand
they make
deals.
money. And yeah, but for them,
Yeah.
for musicians, it's mostly the tour money. So you can't be a mega artist and say, you know, I'm just going to stay in the U.S. You're not going to make no money. You got to go
I'm
abroad.
not
You
saying
gotta
you
go
should stay in
worldwide.
the U.S., but I wouldn't have went back there.
Well, that's a major leg of his tour.
I'm not saying he shouldn't have gone back there. I'm saying that
They just should have had him prepared.
that his team or his legal team or his lawyer, even if he doesn't have a legal team, should have known that there were charges, or should have checked to see, are there any pending cases, knowing that happened and knowing that the supposed alleged victim, Abe Dial, is that how you pronounce it?
I'm the wrong one to ask.
The producer, the guy that he supposedly hit with the bottle, he filed a lawsuit.
Nah.
So if he filed a lawsuit, maybe he made a complaint. You should have checked that and not
maybe
put your star or whatever in that position.
We gotta know. We don't really know how it works over there. They may not notify.
No, we don't know how it works in the UK.
So that's probably how it
But
was.
I'm
They
sure
probably,
your
there was
attorney
no way for them to know.
could
because-
find that out. There's
Oh,
something they
that's
could have
messed up.
inquired.
If they don't alert you, like if you don't know. But, of course, Chris's past has not been clean, especially,
No.
ever since what happened between him and Rihanna happened. And he hit Rihanna and all of that happened. I think, what was that, 2009?
Yeah, I don't
really
remember what
remember.
year it was, but I know.
But, he served time for that. And what we do in a society here is that you never really let certain people move past a mistake that they made.
Yeah.
Or a bad thing that they did, even if it wasn't a quote mistake. You don't let them move past even when they serve their debt to society. But then other people could just keep doing the same shit over and over and over again.
And get away with it.
And they don't get
it's
no
such
kind
a
of
double
judgment.
standard.
Yep.
And that's what is really pissing me
Now
off.
imagine if Chris Brown got on here and started talking about somebody like the way Aiden Ross was.
And from what I am
especially a woman. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Chris Brown's music. He is very talented. You could just see that. And you can't deny his talent no matter how much trouble he gets in,
Yeah, there's no
outside.
denying that he's talented, and I do like some of his music.
So even though I am a fan of his, I'm still, gonna call out bad things that he do.
Right.
Because I'm not that type of person. Like we're saying, celebrities aren't gods. And two things could be true. They could be talented, but also be flawed in other areas.
Right.
But to me, a lot of people just going back and forth between, oh, Chris can do no wrong, and oh, Chris should be
He's
punished.
all bad.
He should never be invited back to the Grammys, which, why hasn't he been invited back to perform at the Grammys?
Right.
I know that this year he won a Grammy, but why not?
Because he's been blackballed because
it's
of
not
what
right.
he did.
Because the amount of work and effort that he
like
puts
what
in.
Ruffles did. Or some brand. It may not have been Ruffles. I don't remember.
I think it was Ruffles. I'm not sure.
What
They
did Ruffles do?
pulled out of something that he was supposed to be at because of
the backlash online.
And then,
there is a legion of people who just follows Chris Brown wherever he goes, and they just cause problems online. They'll be like, well, I'm going to protest this, and they try to get things canceled. And like we've said, we're not going to bring up stuff on this show. Like I don't have any hard stuff printed on these cards to talk about. But one thing I saw yesterday that I don't even know if y'all know about is the administration in the city of New York, Eric Adams' administration, canceled a concert with Kalani.
Why?
Because they don't like Kalani's stance.
On what?
On the Israel, what is it, Cameron? Palestine conflict.
Isn't she part?
Or Gaza. No, Gaza.
Gaza. So she has been, talking about, what did they call it? Was it genocide that they were saying?
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
a
a-
humanitarian,
Yeah.
serious
It's
crisis.
a genocide.
It is a genocide because they're not letting the aid get in. The aid is trickling in. I heard that on the news this morning, and the prime minister, is that what they call it? Israel?
Yeah.
They're not letting it in. and there's children that are starving in Gaza.
Yeah, and that's what conservative.
So
governments
Kalani
get
has
you.
been very vocal about
Netanyahu.
this ever since it started, even under the Biden administration. And she had a concert, some kind of, I think it was a nonprofit thing. Like I'm saying, I don't have all the details.
So they canceled her permit.
But they canceled the permit. And it was because of that. And they said because she was an anti-Semite.
Really?
No.
You know Eric Adams didn't do that of his own volition.
No, he might have.
Well,
He's been going off the deep end lately because Trump supposedly got him out of some shit.
It's marionette strings.
Yes. Because
That's
owes
what I'm
Trump.
getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He
owes him.
independent now, thinking he gonna win re-election. Bitch, I'm gonna say it now. Your ass is gone. I'm calling the race now.
New Yorkers.
I'm calling the race now. You gone.
Yeah, because what did you have to? You owe him your whole existence because he made that investigation disappear.
Yep.
That just shows what kind of integrity you have.
None.
So so Chris has since been released on like a $6 million bail.
Right.
And he has to return back to Manchester or he's going to forfeit that amount of money. So he has all of this tour, planned out. The tour was a big deal. Everybody's trying to figure out how they was going to get tickets to this damn tour.
How much did the dude sue him for?
That I don't know.
Now, first of all, I'll be damned if I'm sued by somebody named Abe. But second of all,
got to do with it,
Right.
the names over there. I mean, I don't mean no hate or whatever, but
I mean, he can't help what his mama named him.
his mama should have named him that. What's to stop him from just saying, you know what, you got your $6 million, I ain't coming back? And how they gonna make him pay?
Oh, they
And that
have
just-
it,
yeah.
so he won't get it back.
Right. He had to put it up. for
I say
bond.
fuck that $6 million and them.
Yeah, but then
again,
you can't.
he
you,
can't
you
go back
Can't go
to the
back.
UK.
And that's
And
a
his
market that
future
you
money,
need
If
you're an artist like that.
I
You
guess
need
that's
that
just how
market.
petty I am.
But
I
shit.
always find a way.
That's
Trump
called,
might say,
that's
"Here
called
you
cutting
go."
off your nose to spite your face, Cameron. You can't do that.
All right, so now we're gonna move on to DDG and Halle. So
Yeah, another
yeah,
tragic situation. I mean, yeah.
so YouTuber DDG and Halle Bailey from Chloe and Halle, and of course the star from The Little Mermaid. He allegedly chipped her tooth and bruised her arms during an altercation in January when he came over to pick up their son. She now has been granted a temporary restraining order where DDG has to remain 100 yards away. That doesn't seem very far to me.
100 yards.
Don't seem far enough.
100 yards straight?
I
Don't
ain't a
seem far enough.
mathematician, so I
That's-
don't know.
But y'all know what 100 yards is?
I don't. I can't tell you how
Football
far.
field.
That's just not far enough away.
It is. You can't reach out and touch her
Yeah,
at
but
100
that's still
yards.
too close. Like if I get a restraining order,
You
I
can't be in the same building as me.
I don't want you in the same state as me.
No, that's not gonna work. That's not.
You got to get out the
goes.
Banish
That ain't
your
how that
ass.
goes.
So
Where they
she-
live?
I think L.A. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Banish
probably
his
LA.
ass to-
And how about this? How about I didn't know who DDG was? Of
He
course, I knew
another
who Halle
streamer.
was. Another
He's-
streamer.
he's
What is it with these streamers?
that's the new it thing. But he was
And
a
it's funny how
YouTuber
it's all
before a
these
streamer.
manosphere dudes doing this shit.
So she has been granted temporary sole custody and will be taking their son Halo to Italy for 2 months while she shoots a movie. And DDG has been trashing her to his fans while streaming. And others seems to be taking sides, including Aiden motherfucking Ross.
God damn. This motherfucker again?
who seems to be always in the mix against women. Our thoughts.
See a pattern?
We having mic problems again?
Yes.
Did you mute your
We're
mic
not
this
really
time?
having mic problems. It's like more like mic stand problems.
Y'all, don't buy mic stands from Amazon. They might be becoming the new Temu.
Bitch.
Oh, you
y'all.
sure you didn't mix it up? Because last video, I'm the one that was having the real
Y'all
problem.
should have seen. I wish that I was vlogging. I would have put this on my channel, y'all. Y'all should have seen us editing when we was reviewing the last episode.
It's the mic going up
And the mic was going up and down. And then as Cameron was adjusting all of the noise it was making, I was like, ah. I was like, our listeners gonna cut
Sorry,
you out,
y'all.
Cameron.
I'm gonna curse out whatever the damn manufacturer these mic stands are.
Yeah, we got to get some more mic stands. But anyway, DDG, it's never okay to put your hands on anybody. You know, if you should just walk away.
Yeah.
If you're getting that agitated where you feel like you gotta put your hands on somebody, and that goes especially man to woman, because y'all are more powerful than we are, and a woman really can't defend herself against a man. But it goes the other way too. Nobody should put their hands on anybody.
Everybody, just keep your hands to yourself.
And there seems to be this narrative now where every time a woman comes out and talks about this, not only do they get trashed, as in saying, oh, that couldn't have happened, or what did you do? It's a situation like, well, did you hit them first? Or, well, it's not always women who are the victims. Sometimes men are the victims. Yes,
Yeah, that's
true. But it doesn't excuse what happens. It doesn't excuse what DDG did. And it damn sure isn't manly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
He allegedly did it, but you seen she didn't put those bruises on the back of her arms herself.
Yeah, and it just, I look at things logically, y'all. Why would she put these pictures up if he didn't do it? Yes,
Why?
you have to say allegedly, and that's what we're saying, but it doesn't make sense to cause this whole stir.
Yeah,
Halle
about
is
your
not-
child's
she's
father.
She doesn't need the clout.
So when the child grows up, they're gonna see this.
Yeah, this is what
So
what my
why
point
would
was.
you-
You making the exact point that I'm thinking of, is that he's trashing her because he's trying to divert the attention away from
what he
did. But the internet is permanent. Your son is going to see that.
And it's just not on no grown man shit. It's on some real bitch nigga shit.
Yeah.
Because why are you doing this? Why are you even worried about
All
it?
of these men that portray
If you
themselves
did
to
it,
be so manly,
Then
this is
just
what you
own
do.
up to it and move on.
Like, how did he even get? I read a part of the story that said that he had gotten into her place of residence and filmed her bed and sent her the text saying, "Oh, this the shit. This now I know what you own." But he called her when she was on vacation for Mother's Day with her sister and her child.
That's on some you shit.
And was right, and was asking her who you did with, because the internet said that she was there with another man. I can't remember what the man's
all
name
y'all
was.
in the room?
Another celebrity.
All y'all crammed
Right.
into the room?
So
How
because
fuck
the
y'all know?
internet said this, you gonna call her, text her, do whatever he did. But she's like, I would never do that. I have Halo. So it sounds like there's something. He's the problem.
And I just noticed that all of these small men do this. They claim to be so manly. Y'all not real men,
They
because real men wouldn't do
compensating.
that.
Well, all I would say is
And then for Aiden Ross to
Women
be
got
getting
it
on
bad.
there, yeah,
I'm just glad.
women.
I'm a man.
This question is for all the women out there. How how the fuck y'all deal with us? I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of all men
of our
everywhere.
species.
I'm so fucking sorry. How the fuck y'all deal with us? Because I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed.
See?
That's why I was never friends with no dudes in school. Because they was all ridiculous back then.
Not all of us can really damn.
I got so tired, I thought about walking off campus.
Proud mama moment. Because I raised gentlemen.
Yep.
And
we
then
had
Aiden Ross getting on there.
we had a good example from both of our parents.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just, it's foreign to me when I see guys do this kind of shit. Like, I could never see myself being that mad if things didn't go well with my baby mama. I'm not going to slam her fucking face into the damn steering wheel,
you
allegedly.
have the ability to leave.
Yeah.
You have the ability to go and be with anybody else. Even if you did something or
Like, it's
it was
not
a
that
mutual fuck up
serious.
thing, it ain't that fucking serious.
Just fucking move on. Go
Just
find
move
somebody
on. Go
else.
It's
Somebody
a
else.
combination of entitlement and inadequacy.
And feeling like you own her.
Yeah.
And women aren't possessions.
They aren't
They're
property,
people.
they aren't
They're
possessions.
equal people.
And Aiden Ross saying it's just a complete lack of respect for women, calling Doechii unintelligent. Like, bitch, I watched a video of this motherfucker of Aiden Ross trying to pronounce fascist. And he said fascist.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't say authoritarianism. He said authorization.
Yeah, it sounds like you the ignorant one.
You
He not
real
just ignorant.
unintelligent.
He ignorant.
But one thing I forgot to mention about Doechii is apparently Doechii was trying out for The Voice. And she spent everything she had to get a one-way ticket to New York to go audition.
She auditioned for The Voice?
Mm-hmm. And she didn't get it.
Wow.
And she had no way to get back home. And she was sleeping in the McDonald's in New York City.
Wow.
So this is where she comes from. So yeah, them potentially fucking up her Louis Vuitton
I would do
deal
the same shit.
could make you say, where's the fucking umbrella?
Mm-hmm.
But white people who are privileged, like Aiden Ross,
And Megyn Kelly scarecrow ass.
don't know the struggle. They don't know where we come from and what we have to go through to get to the places where we end up.
Right.
It is true that we have to work 3 and 4 times as hard
To get a quarter of
Yeah.
what they get.
Look at the production we have to put on just to deliver this information. When
Right.
all Aiden Ross got to do is
It's
turn
sit
on
there
the camera and stream.
in his fucking chair that's all fucked up.
Yeah, let me try to do that. So
Got curtains
this
hanging
is-
down and shit.
Yeah, why don't
Right.
you fix the motherfucking curtains? Like, this is the second video on the scene with them damn curtains like that. Like, fix the shit. That's fucking fucking with my goddamn OCD.
OCD.
And I could tell just by looking at him and looking at the area in that room got stink.
Somebody on TikTok, this girl that apparently he put out of his stream, said that it smelled musty in there. And I was like,
Musty?
I could smell it through the camera.
Stiff in the ass so much you smell like ass.
All right, so here's the next tragic thing we got to talk about, which is this whole Diddy and this Diddy case and the stuff that's coming out about Cassie. Now, they have a lot of charges that is alleged against Diddy, and the thing that's driving me nuts is how people are saying, well, all you've heard so far is just domestic abuse. Like, we
It's
haven't
just
yeah.
Really?
I know you fucking lying.
So just from the little bit I was listening to, you know, he allegedly hit Cassie with
Who's saying
with a
it's
frying
just
pan.
domestic abuse?
his
frying
best
pan?
friend. Yeah, a frying pan camera.
Oh my
Like,
God.
this is the level of abuse. And
that
his-
could kill somebody.
yeah.
Just domestic abuse.
So let's see
Bitch.
what points we have on here. Dawn Richard testified that Diddy punched Cassie in the face. Cassie's former best friend, Carrie Morgan, said that she saw Diddy push her, then subsequently heard Cassie screaming. She called it like I think it was, quote, guttural scream, like gut-wrenching scream.
Oh, he was really hurting her then.
Carrie Morgan says that Diddy was banging on the door with a hammer, and that must have prompted neighbors to call the police because neither Cassie nor Carrie called the police.
Why didn't she call the police?
This is what I guess the defense is talking about. She didn't call the police. I think she was scared. I mean,
Yeah, it's like when shit is going on like that,
what
you freeze.
what you scared of? If you hear, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't judge. I wasn't in the situation, but I'm just saying, if you're saying it was a gut-wrenching scream, why wouldn't you call 911?
well, this was a different time,
Okay.
but I
And
think
it's probably
what
a
a lot
thing-
of people. I'm sorry, Cam. Go ahead.
It's probably a thing like it's Diddy
Yes,
and
that's what I
the
was just
power
about to say.
that Diddy has.
Yes.
And the fact that he is okay with doing that with a witness.
With multiple witnesses, multiple times,
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and no one ever.
That
speaks
would
up.
make somebody freeze and think twice about calling.
Yeah. I guess.
Because as we see, there's
I could
nothing you could do
understand that.
wrong when you're a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
It's just certain
mean-
celebrities seem to get it way worse than others.
Yeah.
Right. It's a
He could
two-way
fucking
street.
say grab him by the pussy and be elected president.
He could say, I could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue.
He could get convicted.
And he probably could literally do that. Like,
Uh-huh.
at this point, there's nothing that...
He could
I'm
get
putting him
convicted
behind
in a
with
civil
Donald Trump.
court.
and still be elected. So it's perception, it's marketing, it's branding, it's people's biases across the spectrum that allows certain people to get away with things. And this happens even when you take it from off of this broad scale of, celebrity and like worldwide lens down to your personal life. I'm sure if you go into your workplace, there's certain employees that get away with shit. And you might
you
not be
wonder
able to
why.
get away with
Like-
not one thing. You might show up late to work one day and get reprimanded, but
Right.
the motherfucker who worked next to you show up late every day and gets the promotion.
Gets a promotion.
Power and influence.
Yep.
So let's see, what's the next?
Well, they did say that her friend said that her friend said that Cassie paid her.
Yeah, offered her the
keep-
30,
yeah,
the
to
30K.
keep quiet because at this point she's been groomed. I think she met him when she was 21 years old. He was 38. They said he was 17 years older than her. So yeah,
It's
and
kind of weird. I know they both was legal, but that's just very weird to me.
well, she testified
mean-
that he kissed her on her 21st birthday, and it jarred her because she was just beginning her career, and it made her feel some type of way, like she had never. It wasn't consensual, in other words. But I guess the power of him or the influence, and she talked about how he had power over her career. So it just seems like she was just a young person that got caught up
It's
basically
tragic.
with a predator.
Yeah, it's tragic. So, Combs's friend said, you're not hearing nothing of that. Talking in regards to the government proving the charges against him. He said, all you're hearing about is domestic violence. So,
Well, the trial is still
minimize
going
that.
on.
Yeah, and it's got a long way to go.
Right.
But to minimize the domestic violence is just immoral to me,
Right.
in the least.
Right.
Again,
And
that's
it's not
on some
just going to
bitch
be,
nigga
I
shit.
mean, you're just hearing the first few of the prosecution's witnesses. I'm sure they've interviewed a lot of people who were staff members, who were security guards, who were whatever in that orbit. They, so you don't know what's going to come out.
And to say that, and who said that again?
His
Charlucci.
Finney.
Oh, well, that's a name. It shows that you don't really know how court works. They're not gonna lay it all out all at once. Court is like a theater.
Right.
You have to basically perform.
Well, he's his friend, so he's gonna say whatever he can say to deflect.
But yeah, when the
I'm gonna just say
asked
for the
him, did you
people
know
in the
about
back,
him abusing Cassie? Had you ever seen or heard anything? No, I didn't hear anything. How?
Lies.
How? If you're his best friend, that just doesn't make any sense.
So for the people at home, court is like a theater. So some people at home may say, well, I haven't heard anything else but domestic violence, as if that's less of a thing. You have to perform. You don't lay it all out all at once. You have to bring it out when it's time, when the time is right, to get your case in its best position. That's what I've gathered from court on TV and what I've studied when I briefly thought about going to law school before I realized how much it would cost. So
you made the people cry in court.
Oh yeah, I already think like a lawyer, and that's basically what a law school does for you. It don't teach you how to be a lawyer. It teaches you how to think like a lawyer.
It's critical thinking and how to get at the heart of a matter. But one thing I want to say is that I keep hearing people diminish the plight of women. It seems to be a concerted effort to minimize what's going on, but yet you want to control women's bodies. You want to control what we do. You know, it's just seems to me that there's something afoot here that's bigger than, it just seems like this is like the only thing I could liken it to is like a spreading sickness that's infecting all areas of society.
Yeah. And apparently, he, I believe she testified to the fact that he would tell her what kind of clothes to wear, what kind of nails and stuff.
Oh, now that's just creepy and controlling. Yeah. Now, who else that sound like?
Yeah. Nah.
Who that sound like?
You could be, who?
Kanye with Kim.
Now, see, I hadn't heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not invoke him. A dark cloud will form.
Wait, what?
Let's not invoke him. A dark cloud will form.
Now, why you said that and the light flickered?
Whatever demons he got.
The light flickered, y'all. Oh, my God. So y'all made me forget what I was about to say.
What you were saying, it's like a sickness spreading. I think it's men not wanting to give up because this is a man's world. It has been set up to be that way.
Yeah.
And they don't want to give up that power.
But women have been making the world go around for centuries.
They don't want to recognize
just
that.
Not getting the credit.
I could say something right here, but I don't think I'm going to say it.
What? We supposed to say everything and anything.
Pussy make the world go round.
Yes, it does.
Yes, the fuck it does.
All right. So the last thing I got to say for Diddy is he has pleaded not guilty for all charges. Moving on.
That's his right to do that.
Everybody's entitled to a defense.
Yes.
Even if I personally don't want.
And that's what makes America great. Not again in the first place.
Exactly.
All right. Tory Lanez and his team has been pushing an alternative set of facts.
Alternative facts.
Alternative facts.
That happened that night.
Biggity alternative facts. aka lies.
Tory
Or
and his team has been pushing an alternative set of events that happened that night across social media to garner support, including claims that Kelsey shot Megan and not him, and that Megan stepped on glass and was not actually shot in her foot.
Well, which one is it? She stepped on glass or somebody else shot her?
Megan's team says that they dispute Tory's claims as lies, and they back up their reports with. Hold on, this ain't right.
They back it up with.
They back it up with the reports
doctor
from the doctor and their sworn testimony.
yeah, like I'm sure she was examined.
Well, they had to do. I think it was surgery.
Yeah.
There was a report. that she
Didn't
put out.
anybody perform ballistics?
I'm sure. So they say I saw a report that said that it couldn't have been female DNA. Now I don't know how they determined that. I didn't know that DNA was different.
Yeah.
Like from your fingerprints, you could determine if it's male or female.
Wait, from your fingerprint? No, it have to be DNA, like
Organic.
deoxy, you know, DNA.
Off a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything
they
you
test-
touch on certain surfaces.
You leave like the oils from your skin?
Yeah.
So they could test this water bottle that only I have touched and say that a male touched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because scientifically,
You learn something new every day.
So did they test anybody's clothes for gunpowder?
right?
They
That's the
did.
question I had.
They did. And both Kelsey and Tory, to my knowledge. Now, I don't have this written here. So don't take it as fact, because I don't know for sure. But
So,
as far
to
as
your
I remember,
knowledge, they both had GSR.
had-
It's
Yeah.
such a close. It was in close quarters. So a gun was fired.
Yeah.
It was in such close quarters that the powder could have went on anybody.
Nah.
Obviously there had to have been enough evidence to say it was Tory
well,
if he was convicted. But then again,
I
people
mean,
have
the
been
justice
wrongfully
system-
convicted in this justice system.
I don't know.
Yeah.
None of us were there.
Nah.
I'm not trying to sit here.
I don't think
Megan
Megan
say
would
that.
say it wasn't Tory. I don't think Megan would say it was Tory if
she didn't really
she didn't know.
And she has pointed out that he admitted to it on the phone. They have a recording.
Now some
Apparently.
people are saying
We'll never
that he just covering up for Kelsey. What would be her reason to shoot Megan? What was anybody's reason to shoot?
Well, I think the reason behind all of this was that Megan and Tory was allegedly in a relationship that no one knew about. And Tory was allegedly cheating on Megan with Kelsey.
How the fuck you cheat on Megan?
Okay, so how
How you cheat on Beyonce?
Yeah.
I told
It
y'all before.
Like
When a man
take your win. Quit
cheats,
while you're ahead.
it's not about that's a whole nother show.
Go ahead
a
and
whole
finish
nother
your
shade.
thought
Go ahead.
for the audience. No, what you were saying, Ma. You say when a man cheats, it's not about what?
It's not about whether the woman is attractive that he's cheating with or whatever. Men like the chase, the conquer, you know. Yeah. It's not always about, because all the time it's like he cheated on her with her. I mean, it's not about that.
You ain't gonna catch me slipping.
Nah.
Not
You ain't
I.
gonna catch me with all kind of baby mamas cheating on all kind of women. If
But he telling too many
if I
different
get with
stories,
the
though, for
one
real.
girl I want,
Yeah.
that's it.
So unfortunately, Tory was stabbed 14 times in prison.
Yeah.
And now he's pursuing a change.org petition prompting the California governor, Gavin Newsom, to pardon him.
So
be
now
surprised
he
if
wants
that
a
happened.
pardon because he's not safe?
Yeah, that's what him and his team is saying, that he's not safe.
Why don't they put
Nobody's
him?
safe in prison.
Yeah, that was my question.
Nah, solitary can make somebody go crazy, but Why?
Why is
My
he in
problem with
Gen
prisons
Pop?
is, first of all, how the
how
fuck
many
do
years
they
did he
get
get?
this shit
I
in
think
there?
10 years.
How the fuck do they get this shit in
I think
there?
they make their own, like,
Yeah.
weapons.
And then why the guards not watching? Isn't that
They
what the
pay-
fuck you supposed to
they
be
pay
doing?
on- They paid off. I
Again,
mean, we
that's
gonna
a
get to that in a later
whole
later
nother-
on in this show. But look what
It's
happened in New Orleans.
It's
Right?
giving Orleans Parish jail.
Okay, so
Apparently, they wasn't down with OPP.
so I don't know. The thing with Tory and Megan, before we move on, it's a crazy evolving situation. But again, you should always believe people when they say it. This isn't in Megan Thee Stallion's best interest to have caused such a controversy if
Yeah.
these things really didn't happen to her.
And this shows the lack of critical thinking.
I mean, there was medical reports. She was injured.
Yeah. And
And imagine
You
the
sometimes-
emotional trauma of first not just going through that,
Right.
but then
The
having the
pain.
whole internet call you a liar.
Right.
and then to have to get on the stand to testify to it and relive it in grave detail.
And still
because
have
the law
people
is
call
a
you a liar.
precise endeavor. You have to be precise and have to be detailed.
And according to Megan's team and her side of things, Tory had the chance to get on the stand, and the people supporting him in his orbit did, and they didn't want to testify.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
that's
it's almost
what
like a
she's saying.
default.
Yeah, she's kind of saying, y'all are calling me liars,
Then why didn't they get on
but
the
we
stand?
have sworn testimony. Y'all don't have sworn testimony.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of
Like-
trying to litigate this in the court of public opinion, but it doesn't matter when it's really literally litigated in actual court.
Yeah, and let me define it. Sworn testimony is when you swear to it, where you put your hand on the Bible and say, "Do you?" And they say, "Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?" And
Under
you say,
penalty
"I
of
do."
perjury.
Under penalty of perjury. Perjury, when you perjure yourself, you could end up going to jail for that. So why would anybody get on the stand and knowingly lie if they are putting their whole fucking life on the line?
Yeah.
So they have sworn testimony.
Your mic.
Ah!
Wait, mute.
Right one.
Well, while he tends to his mic, y'all, I just feel like it is hard because as being a fan of Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, you hate to see this when these kind of things happen because you don't want to have to, quote, take sides. But again, not treating these celebrities like gods, you have to look at what you're being presented with and look at the behaviors of both individuals. And Tory is very talented. I mean, just watching him record those
Man.
Twitch tape
I saw
videos.
him record that song "Blurred." I saw the video of that. I couldn't believe that.
Mm-hmm. So it's tragic what happens. We don't know what led up to that. But again, just because I like Tory for his talent doesn't mean it's okay to bully or just totally dismiss what Megan Thee Stallion
Right.
is saying. Because again, what would be her motive for just coming out and saying this?
Same
It
thing
doesn't
with
make
any
sense.
accusation. What would be the motive?
Yeah.
Because it never really goes well
Yeah.
for the woman when they accuse somebody of something.
Right.
And that's why you have
Especially a
women
woman like
getting
Megan Thee Stallion who
raped
was at the top
out
of
here.
her game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad publicity this
Right.
caused, not anything that was
Or
elevating
any
her.
woman for that matter, like the one that accused the orange person,
Yeah.
E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That was about the best thing that could happen.
especially and
She
then
got
look at
paid.
Diddy and Cassie. I mean, these are powerful
Yeah.
people. You could run the list down from Weinstein to Epstein to, it's just
So my heart goes out to all of these women dealing with this. And my message to just the general public on the internet is be kind. Stop with all of the conspiracy theories and just the mean, hateful shit that y'all saying in these comments, because these comment sections is so fucking toxic.
That's the other side of the sword with social media. It may have made everybody connected. You can talk to somebody who's on a whole different side of the world.
Right.
But it also brings out the
can
worst in
elevate
people.
And perpetuate this, again, mis and disinformation.
Yep. And I realize not everybody is like me, because when some of y'all come in my comments, I really could give a fuck. Like, y'all leave them stupid ass comments.
Yeah.
Don't
like
fucking bother me.
Yeah. And like, I could get on here and say anything. I could get on here and say Dodge just bought Lamborghini and they taking the V12 from the Aventador and putting it in the new Viper. Oh, Revuelto now. I could say that till I'm blue in the face, but that don't make it true.
Yeah, and y'all would clip that
stopping
shit.
Me.
Y'all would clip that shit and put
say,
it all over.
This is happening. This is happening. No, motherfucker, I just said it happened. That don't make it true.
And it really is, like you said, a double-edged sword. That's the two sides of social media and technology. It, like I said before, it can be good, it can be great, but it can also be
bad. Like this AI shit.
Oh,
I've seen some truly disturbing shit.
In prepping for today's show, I saw that there's like this channel that takes all of the court proceedings with Diddy.
I know.
It turns it into AI.
That's just
that
creepy.
shit blew my mind. Like all the audio, all of the video, like visuals. I'm like, this shit is gonna take us over and be ruling us by the end of 2026.
It needs guardrails.
Nah, not by the end. Yeah, it does need guardrails.
iRobot.
Oh no.
There was actually a video of a robot fighting somebody. I forgot where I saw it, but
yeah, somebody's robot was fighting something. I can't remember whose
oh, Cameron,
robot
I gotta
was that.
find it and show it to you.
Oh hell no!
Whose robot was it, y'all? We saw that video.
Fuck no! Oh shit no! Hell the! I forbid it.
They coming.
Y'all
they coming.
Y'all bet not let this shit happen. I'm not about to be answering to no motherfucking robot.
You need some like parameters.
All right, y'all. So now it's time for us to get y'all caught up on the news and move into our weekly segment, not section. Oh Lord. Move into the weekly segment, the briefing room. All right, so this week at the top of the briefing room is the St. Louis tornadoes.
Oh man.
So
Missouri been going through it for the last since March. All the way from March to now.
Yeah. So St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer says that FEMA still has no presence on the ground. Several days after a mile-wide tornado cut nearly a 23-mile path through the area and damaged an estimated 5,000 buildings.
They get to be that word?
Oh, yeah. For a mile, yeah.
Oh, yeah. A big wedge
Especially
tornado.
out in that part of the country.
Yeah.
So 5 people have died.
I will be staying my ass down here.
Oh, no. With climate change, you can start welcoming them down here, too.
I'm moving to California.
Earthquake.
I'll take an earthquake.
You will?
Uh-huh.
No.
And the gas explosions that come with it?
No.
Fuck.
All right, Cameron. Now I got to start over. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer says that FEMA still has no presence on the ground several days after a mile-wide tornado cut nearly 23-mile path through the area and damaged an estimated 5,000 buildings. 5 people have died in the city and dozens were injured. Quote, on the local level, every organization, community member, elected official has been on point. What we need right now is federal assistance, Spencer told MSNBC May 19th. This is what the federal government is for, she said.
Prime example of how they're destroying this country.
This is the third red state the Trump administration has fucked over.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina voted for Trump 3 times. 2016, 2020, and 2024. North Carolina also voted red in 2012. The last time North Carolina was blue in 2008 for Barack Obama. And Trump has denied them their claims for Helene.
After causing all of that fucking misinformation and bullshit
About
on the ground during the Biden administration.
During the Biden administration. And now you getting here. And this is what you do? You have shown yet again that you will reach out and fuck over any red state. Now the blue states, they got the money. They can't really be fucked with by him because they're not dependent on the federal government. But all of these red states are. So
and
that
their governor, Mike Keogh, is a Republican, the Missouri governor. And he have asked.
It don't make no...
Right.
And
He have
Crooked
asked
Eye
them.
in Arkansas is a Republican.
Yep. So this, guys, does not make us feel any better going into hurricane season, which for us starts in just a few days, because this is Louisiana and we always getting hit for no apparent reason by these damn hurricanes. And we always need FEMA. And yes, FEMA has its flaws. But instead of being focused on fixing the flaws in FEMA, these inept motherfuckers in this administration are trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, they done fired 2,000 of the 6,100 employees that
Now,
FEMA
how can that
have.
make it better? That's
That
not going to
can't.
make it better. Because when you call in to check on your claim, you ain't going to have nobody answering. Instead, what they
you don't
should
have
be
any
doing...
case managers working on your claim.
Exactly. What they should be doing is putting more money into FEMA. That $750 initial payment need to be way more than that, because what the fuck you supposed to do with $750? But instead, you ain't gonna get shit because ain't gonna be nobody on the other end of the phone to hear your claim. Ain't
There's
gonna be nobody on the other
in
end of the website to process your online
Ain't
application.
gonna be nobody in the field going out there assessing the damage or staging stuff so that after the disaster is over, you can start moving the assets in. It's just...
And
it's
just because
what
y'all
you
don't
call a
want to say,
clusterfuck.
just because y'all don't want to say the word climate change, don't mean the fucking climate ain't changing. It's obvious that you could see it. So the climate and Mother Nature don't give a fuck whether you are independent, a Republican, or a Democrat. Your ass is going to get affected just like everybody else. And I'm getting tired of saying this shit, but I'll say it until I'm blue in my motherfucking face. You gonna fuck around and find out.
And this is why I keep saying this, that they have to be a mandate. 2026 has to be the time that we come together and take back both houses of Congress.
I think
because
that
is the only way to stop this madness, stop this decline, and stop this deliberate push and destroying of our country and the underpinnings of our country.
Yeah. And the problem is the majority of people don't understand how the government works because we've taken civics out of the schools.
Right.
But now y'all gonna find out the hard way what the government actually does. Because when you are stranded, like we have had to witness in our lifetimes, being natives of New Orleans and going through Katrina and seeing our fellow citizens stuck, you know, we were lucky enough to be able to evacuate the day before Katrina hit.
Right.
But a lot of people weren't. And thousands of people
died.
Aren't here.
And
so what y'all gonna do when you find yourselves in that situation and you don't have no help from the federal government, your government, the government you are paying money into that should be there to help you.
Right.
Instead of your money coming back to you, a little bit of your money coming back to you to help
in the
you
form of help for
in
things
your
you
time
can't do for yourself.
of need, your money is going to be in the pockets of people who are already rich. Now, how does that make you feel?
Nah.
And it's so funny that Trump lives in a hurricane-prone state. Now watch Florida gets approved for FEMA assistance when a hurricane deals Mar-a-Lago.
Does he need it? Like, I don't really see Donald Trump being like, "Where's my my FEMA claim?"
Well, he
But he
decides
probably
to
will
charge
jump at
the
any
Secret Service
way
rent,
to get
so
free money.
So he finds a way to get any kind of money he can out this fucking government.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like it's maddening because I have watched my city drown.
Mm-hmm.
August 28, 2005 was the last
watched-
time I was a resident of New Orleans. And that's painful even to this day because I still very much miss my city. But now I don't even want to be here because I'm afraid that some shit gonna roll through here like it did twice in 1 year last time that
Right.
bitch was president in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Within a
And
month of
within
each
a
other.
month.
Within a few weeks. And that was
And-
so unprecedented to have two hurricanes.
And it's just getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
Climate change does not mean the climate is changing the way you think. It means the seasons and weather events are getting more and more volatile and unpredictable. So
Exactly.
hurricanes never really was that predictable, but now it's just fucking worse.
And with
now.
the cuts with National Weather Service, they
just
really
about to say
ain't
that.
gonna know.
They
We
really
ain't gonna
you
know.
ain't
they
gonna
really
know.
unpredictable now.
Oh, it looks like rain. Yikes, it's a hurricane.
You see, you be like, oh, that's a bad thunderstorm.
Yeah, and that's the perfect combination.
Until you see a fucking eye rolling over.
Living check to check and not being able to predict the weather.
And get stuck in a fucking eye wall, that be your ass.
All right.
The
so,
squall lines enough of a hurricane will fuck you up.
Yep. Okay,
This
so
next segment.
let's go into a lighter topic. Cameron. JD met the Seven World Pope.
Oh no.
So apparently the Vatican.
Stay the fuck away from my
Pope
seven
Leo.
ward Pope. Stay away. Keep Vance, that couch fucker, so far.
Allegedly.
Cameron, I forgot about that.
Allegedly.
You
But
always bring up the stuff I
it-
forgot about.
Just look at the way he looked. I could tell. I could tell. Bitch, stay away from Pope Leo. Stay away. I rebuke you.
So y'all, apparently the Vatican hasn't learned its lesson, and it let JD Vance near Pope Leo.
If
So,
anything happened to Pope Leo, his ass did it.
So apparently, just a few weeks ago, JD Vance dropped this trophy. So apparently, he's just very clumsy, y'all.
Fucking klutz.
He was nervous.
Oh, I wonder what Pope Francis thinks.
Pope
Francis,
Francis.
Pope Francis called it like it was. He said it like it is. Like a T.I. is.
So here's this article from NPR. Pope Leo meets with Vance, who delivers an invitation to visit the White House. Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
You think he gonna come?
The meeting appeared part of an effort to
I don't know why,
reset
but I'm sure it
relations.
smells like cheese in there.
No, he did. Oh my God.
Next person they're gonna have to fumigate it. Y'all gonna have to fumigate the White House.
All right. We ain't gonna ever get through this shit, y'all. All right. So the meeting appeared part of an effort to reset relations with the Vatican. I wonder why they gotta reset the relations.
Nah, because you
We're
killed the
sorry
last
for
pope.
killing the last pope.
Yeah, oh, and y'all
No,
gonna have
because
to
Pope Francis used to get on their ass about the shit they was doing.
Pope Leo, if you must go to the White House, have it saved before you get there.
They don't believe in sage. They would bring holy water.
Oh yeah,
Bring some
bring
holy
holy water in a pressure washer. Just
The meeting appeared part of an effort to reset relations with the Vatican after Pope Francis repeatedly criticized Donald Trump's immigration policy. Now the diplomatic efforts to bring a ceasefire to Ukraine may provide an opportunity for common ground. In these first days of his papacy, Leo has already called for an authentic and lasting peace in Ukraine.
Right.
So
They not gonna listen to him.
I don't
Russia
know.
ain't going.
What kind of Catholic is
I
Jenny
would
Vance?
I would advise that he do a Teams meeting. I would say Skype, but Skype just went away.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Zoom.
I wouldn't go there. That's just my personal opinion. Personal advice. All right. So now to another sad topic. President Biden is diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. And apparently Donald Trump Jr. thought this was a laughing matter.
Well, he think everything a laughing fucking matter.
And he was like, well, why didn't Jill Biden know? Since she's a doctor, basically.
Bitch.
This is what he said.
She's a PhD, not an MD.
I know you are fucking lying to me, bitch. So I'm sure So I guess he went up to his professors when he was in school and showed them, I have a weird mark on my ass. Like they're not doctors. They're doctors in an academia setting, not medical. How the fuck Jill Biden supposed to know?
No. That's what somebody in the comments, they had me dead. It was like, I highly doubt Jill Biden was checking her husband's prostate every
Right?
night.
What the fuck you think they're doing?
The doctor who was checking his prostate didn't feel the tumor. So what the fuck?
So the article goes on to say former
Between
president...
him and his daddy ain't got one brain cell between them. Like, what the fuck? What the actual entire fuck?
So the article says that former President Joe Biden was diagnosed on Friday with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has spread to his bones. His office said in a statement on Sunday. The diagnosis came after Mr. Biden reported urinary symptoms, which led doctors to find a quote, small nodule on his prostate. Mr. Biden's cancer is characterized by a Gleason score of 9 with metastasis to the bone, the statement said. Since leaving office, Biden has largely kept a low profile, spending most of his time in Delaware and commuting to Washington to meet with staff to plan his post-presidential life.
Right.
After Trump passed the 100-day mark and ahead of the release of books about his presidency in the 2024 campaign, Mr. Biden participated in interviews to push back against claims that he suffered from mental decline. Now, imagine having to deal with this diagnosis and at the same time having to defend yourself
Right.
against all of these, to me, what seems to be crazy claims that don't have nothing to do with what the fuck is going on right now.
Right.
Why are we analyzing what happened in the Biden administration when the Trump administration is literally denying FEMA funding to people who need help right now?
Kidnapping American citizens.
Right now.
The Trump administration is the embodiment of an EF5 tornado mixed with a Category 5 hurricane,
And now
mixed
they're
with a
trying to pass
magnitude
this
9
bill.
earthquake.
They just passed this bill out of the House, and who knows
Right.
what's going to happen in the Senate, trying to basically nullify the courts.
Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Bill Cassidy of Louisiana. Find another one.
But we worried about whether or not Joe
Please
Biden
don't pass this bill.
was aging in the White House.
He was old.
Y'all didn't
Come
fucking
on
know
now.
that when you elected him?
You voted for the. You didn't vote for him.
So y'all
Why the
voted in
fuck?
November for him. And then in January, you was like, wait,
He
That
old.
motherfucker look kind of old. What the fuck?
And then
I'm over the
when
shit.
you are actually doing the job, the office ages you. Look at Barack Obama in
Yes.
January 2009 versus January 2017.
The only president I've
Look
seen,
at him January 2013.
the only president I've seen go into that Oval Office and come out not aging is Donald Trump.
It's
that
Trump.
bitch that's
And that
not
bitch-
doing a fucking
and
thing,
he
but
ain't
playing
doing
golf.
That bitch golfed enough days to equal a fucking year. So basically, he fucked this bitch up in only 3 years. That ought to be a record.
Guinness, where you at?
And he done fucked it up in 100 days.
What's gonna happen in 200 more days?
So, piggyback it off of, what we was just talking about. Jake Tapper has a new book talking about Joe Biden's, quote, decline. It's called In Original Sin.
Right.
Jake Tapper describes a
Why you calling
cover-up
it original sin?
of Joe Biden's decline. Now, this shit, first of all, before we even get into it, just the title. You trying to get clout. You're trying to get money. You're trying to sell a fucking book. Because this is not as, quote, serious as you think that it is.
If the original sin had a face, it'd be yours.
But Trump, since his first term, says some of the most
The United States.
insane shit. He's supposed to be the healthiest president. He says I'm the healthiest president.
You seen those ankles?
I mean, them
Them
ankles
bitches is
say
cankles.
otherwise.
Them
Your
bitches
fucking
is
ankle
saddlebags full of
Is
fluid.
the size of an elephant. Like, I'm concerned for you, and I could care less for you.
Somebody
You need
needs
to
to
call
check
a doctor.
his blood pressure.
So
you
Jake Tapper
make
calls,
McDonald's blood pressure go up every time you roll past it in your fucking limousine. It's probably riding like this.
Jake Tapper calls his new book a tragedy. Original Sin, President Biden's Decline. Its cover-up in his disastrous choice to run again, which Tapper co-authored with Axios' Alex Thompson, describes two Joe Bidens. Quote, the first one is the one that everybody got to know during his vice presidency, Tapper says. And the second one was kind of a non-functioning Joe Biden. And that non-functioning Biden would rear his head increasingly starting in like 2019, 2020. And then as his term went on, more and more behind the scenes. Tapper says one source described a president that was being propped up by aides. One person told us that the presidency was at best a 5-person board with Joe Biden as chairman of the board. Tapper insists that that Biden and his family lied to the American people. Well, what I would say is there is no president in this country that runs this country alone.
Thank you.
That is not a one-man job. They all are propped up by their motherfucking aides. So this is ridiculous.
Like,
and the proof that he was running the country is that the country didn't fall off the cliff like it's doing now.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want from a president. You want a president
who's
to
going
come
to
in
involve experts
and put people in place to run shit. They shouldn't have to run everything themselves. If they have to
run
do that,
everything.
if they have to do that, then they're not doing their job right. Mm-hmm. If your president got to worry about what's going on with the Department of Health and the Department of Treasury and all of these different places,
then he didn't
then
choose
he didn't
the best
put the
people.
right
Remember the
people
best
in.
people? Remember they was going to choose the best people?
like this is
but
ridiculous.
instead y'all fucking texting war game.
Yeah.
What's
Exactly.
next? Y'all gonna post it on y'all Grindr profile?
So they talking about
I
Joe
bet
Biden.
your Pete Hex's password is password.
Password 123.
Or Hexeth rocks with an X.
Or big balls.
This shit is it really drives me up the wall, y'all, because
If you gotta
drives
call
me
yourself
nuts. I don't
big balls, then
understand
you ain't big balls.
why somebody like Tapper would sit here and talk so crazily about this.
Money.
Saying that this is, this was so bad that they covered up his decline. Everyone ages. The presidency ages people.
Yeah, when you're doing the job right.
Exactly. And then, not to mention, Joe Biden had to deal with more shit in the smaller amount of time because of Donald Trump.
You know who?
Because of Donald Trump. Then Barack had to deal with. And Barack had to deal with a whole lot of fucking shit.
Because of George Bush.
So come on now. Y'all mad because this man
Like,
couldn't do an
we
interview
couldn't
after
go-
dealing with the Ukraine war?
When Joe Biden
At the
was
end of the day, I
elected-
can't do a lot of shit.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in my 30s.
Yeah.
Early 30s.
But more so than that, he is decidedly, I mean, he's evidentially old. I mean, his age when he was elected, I don't understand people being surprised that people have declined in the years after an election when they were older when they were elected. This is what happens to people when they age. And if you're in the most powerful position on the face of the earth,
When the
when you're
literal
the
weight
head
of the
of a
world is
company,
on your shoulders.
when you're the head of a state, when you're the head of a country,
yeah,
it's pressure.
it is. And this country needs to come to grips with what the fuck it does. Like, we literally had what probably would amount, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Cameron, but didn't both the primaries together with the Republican primary in 2016 and then the Democratic primary in 2020, wasn't they like equivalent with the amount of candidates? Didn't they have like 12 candidates?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, a
it
lot
was
of
crowded
candidates.
field.
So you had all of these people, and out of all of the people on the Republican side, you dwindled it down to Trump. And out of all of the people on the Democrats, you whittled it down to Biden. And then you have these two people matching up, and you're complaining about the choice. Why wasn't you involved from the beginning? Like, the whole process is democratic. You can choose from the very beginning who you want to end up at the finish line.
Only if you
But
get out
y'all
there and
just check
exercise your
in.
choice.
You check in at the end of the fucking race and complain about who's in the race.
Yeah. How about voting the primary?
Get your asses up and pay attention. Don't take that long. Like, you don't have to really be involved.
Joe Biden
Just
was
learn
never
who the fuck is
supposed to be a
is running and
transformational
vote.
candidate, and people expected him to be a transformational president. Well, how can you expect him to make all of these drastic changes when he got to clean up shit from Trump?
But
Y'all
but-
always
but
do
you
that to the
also
Democrats.
didn't give him the things that he needed to do that.
A 50-50 Senate with fucking Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema stopping shit.
Right.
Like the Build Back Better plan. That included universal child care, I believe.
Yeah.
And y'all let that happen, and then you got mad at the president for that not being passed when that was on Congress, and y'all didn't give him.
But
Y'all had what basically amounts to a Lamborghini in your garage, and you refused to give it gas. Congress is the gas for any presidency. That is the quote Lamborghini in the analogy I just made. So, bitch, you gotta do what you gotta do.
No.
And
In my opinion, I would say Jake Tapper has ulterior motives. I mean, y'all just take a look at this clip of how he describes Joe Biden's son, Hunter.
How big a factor was the Hunter stuff?
I think it was considerable. I think Hunter was driving the decision making for the family in a way that he was almost like a chief of staff of the family.
Does that strike you as pretty bizarre?
It's bizarre because I think he is provably, demonstrably unethical, sleazy, and prone to horrible decisions. I mean,
Tell me how you really feel.
well, I mean, I'm just look at the record. I don't have a lot of personal regard for him, and just based on having nothing to do with, I barely have ever met him. I've met him like once or twice.
So y'all could just take that how y'all want to take it. But to me, there's a little animosity there, if I say so myself.
right.
All right, so let's
Burn,
see.
baby, burn. Oh, sorry.
All right, so the ancestors got their lick back. A plantation here in Louisiana burned to the ground. And apparently, for some odd reason, I guess just because we live in Trump's America and it's 2025,
Right.
there was a debate online between
How you debate that?
white people and black people about whether this was a good thing. And some white people was telling black people who were praising this plantation burning to the ground that we're losing an important piece of history. And
Bitch.
this was a, quote, good plantation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's an oxymoron.
So roll the clip, Cam.
Good morning. Welcome to the ancestors being at work. So a plantation in Louisiana, which is one of the largest plantations in America, founded in the 1850s, where John Randolph and his family turned profits from moving from the cotton plantation industry to the sugarcane plantation industry, because that's where more money was to be made. They actually turned this plantation into one of the most profitable plantations in the South. They enslaved close to 200 enslaved Africans to turn a profit. Then you would think they would, sell the plantation, give the proceeds to the enslaved Africans just to do right, to try to rectify the situation. No, they didn't do that. Centuries later, they decided that they're going to turn this into a resort where tourists can live out their wildest dreams in the southern antebellum plantation and live the plantation life, exploiting the idea that enslaved Africans built this plantation, ran this plantation with their labor for free against their will. No. The tourists get to go there and have a good old time. Fast forward to this morning where the bitch burned down. Now, I'm all for it. Ashes to ashes, burn in hell. But however, they're thinking about rebuilding and they have the funds to do it. As someone who is born and raised in Louisiana, taught Louisiana history, I just want y'all to know there's only one plantation in the entire country that actually honors the efforts of the enslaved people, which is the Whitney Plantation, that gives truth to power and talk about what actually happened to those who worked these plantations and what they had to overcome, and actually preserving our history. This plantation is not that type of plantation. This plantation is fully exploiting the experiences of Black people who worked that plantation and glorifying and romanticizing the enslavers. Burn in hell.
I read an article about this. The current owners of this plantation, the last name is Dyess. I don't know if they pronounce it Dyes or Dyess. But the gentleman is a lawyer. His wife is a judge. And they are going to rebuild it. They say they want to rebuild it. They acquired it after the last owner, I think, either passed away, something happened, and they acquired it. So they want to rebuild it. And one of the things that he was quoted as saying in the article when they asked him about rebuilding it is that we understand, and I'm paraphrasing, we understand the controversy surrounding, the back and forth, but we're not partaking in any left-wing radical stuff. So when you use the term left-wing radical stuff,
you're
that
racist.
Says to me
that you're racist. That's all you had to say. That's one word away from saying,
I want this
nigga, hard R.
I want this plantation back up to show how we used to enslave black people. I want this mark of this history to be back so that everybody can see, so that there's still evidence of our superiority and our reign. The South reigned. This is what they want.
Have at it again.
Nah, that's the thing that I don't know is what started the fire. How did it get started?
No, they don't know yet, but I have another piece of information. So there's a group of investigators that investigate, is part of the ATF. And they investigate large scale like bombings. They investigated the Oklahoma City bombing. They investigated the wildfires that was in some, I think, northeastern country. But they investigate large scale bombings and fires to find out what the cause.
Like terrorist attack?
Yeah, because Oklahoma City was a terrorist attack. So this is the part of the ATF, the team within the ATF that investigates those level of catastrophes, criminal activity to do with bombings and fires. This team is now going to investigate the cause of this fire. So if that doesn't say to everyone what this administration values, you know, as a person who's trained in numbers, trained in accounting, show me what you spend your money on, and I'll tell you
what you
care about. So this is what they care about. You want to find out how this plantation burned down. You're putting federal resources that are usually going to catastrophes like Oklahoma City and wildfires.
Attacks. This wasn't terrorist attack.
Right.
But watch they try to pin it on a black person. Watch they find a scapegoat and say, oh, they did that.
Yeah.
They said they originally thought that it was an electrical fire, but now they don't know.
It probably was. Look at it. And I'm sure y'all wasn't putting your money where your fucking mouth is. You wasn't taking care of it.
No.
A 53,000 square foot structure, it takes a lot of money to take care of, especially one that was built in the 1850s.
Yeah.
Before they had electrical wiring.
It probably was wired with aluminum wiring. That's what they was using. Probably when it did get electricity, they weren't using copper.
Nope.
And then with these codes down here,
probably some jackleg
you could get grandfathered in. So that's what you get. But they want to get mad because anything we find
amusing.
And I don't even think we found it amusing. We was just like, okay, FAFO. I'm not sad. We just was saying we wasn't sad that a
plantation burned down.
And that bothers y'all? Well, fuck y'all.
If we breathe wrong, it bothers them.
Exactly.
Instead of going, if we go, they're like, shut up, nigger.
I had somebody say that to me once in reference to Trump. If Trump shit wrong, he did something wrong. Because he always doing shit wrong.
Yeah. If Trump would get in there and do the shit right,
that bitch shit
then
wrong
we'd be
every
the first
day.
one to not care. Like y'all think we get up like wanting to care what the fuck the president does? We would give anything
actively avoid
to
that
be
bitch.
Like, okay, we don't care what happens in Washington. Not have to worry about what happens in Washington.
When they got competent people in Washington, you don't have to be concerned every minute of every day. Like, what's going to happen now? What are we going to do? Are we at war?
Exactly.
Is the stock market crashing? Is the bond market crashing?
Is that thunder a plane crashing into the top of my house?
Nah.
When I go to the store today, am I going to get COVID-31?
Trump shit wrong every day. Look at his ass. Why is shit like that?
That's them Pampers.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Playboy or somebody had a song called Pissy Pamper. I'm going to call him Shitty Pamper.
Wait, they had a song
called Pissy Pamper. Somebody.
Where does Cameron find this stuff, y'all?
I
And
don't
why
know.
didn't
Where
you
do you
share it
find
with
it?
me? Like,
Where
I'm
do you
offended.
find this stuff?
I just saw it on
What
Instagram.
kind of timeline you got?
His algorithm is lit. All right.
of
So
lit.
10 inmates broke out of the Orleans Parish jail. Roll the clip.
As you know, if you notice, they are carrying blankets with them. This road that they're going out of.
So that clip shows them running across I-10. Cameron, how many times have we driven on that part of I-10, especially at that
So
time?
many
of night?
times.
Right.
What you would have did if you saw them running across in front of the car?
Some orange-clad people.
I would be like, I'm going home. I would be like, this ain't no real place.
New Orleans literally isn't a real place.
We just
like
had
I say
Annabelle.
this so many times.
We just had Annabelle in the city.
Annabelle did this.
Annabelle did it?
Uh-huh. Annabelle caused all this shit. So, on a serious tip, this was like just a massive lapse in
They
leadership.
literally fucking wrote on the wall too easy.
And spelled
Yeah.
too wrong.
Wait, I didn't notice that part. What?
They
How he
spelled too
it?
wrong.
T-O.
Oh,
So they said
Lordy.
it was too easy,
Yeah, but-
right? But then, like, I'm not rooting for the criminals, of course. Like,
No.
they need to be caught. They need to be brought back into
And
custody.
they need to get more charges.
But your mind can't help but go there if I was in that situation. So a lot of people I talked to this week were saying, you know, if I was in that situation, I would have been X. I would have been here. Tell me why they stayed in New Orleans.
Right.
And
If
why
I
did one
had
of them
been in
fall
that
asleep at the
situation-
bus stop? Why did two of them go to the French Quarter? The
Why?
most
I couldn't have been in the
vintage-
French Quarter. I need that $25,000.
I know.
I would have put a wig on and everything. I would went full Karen. They here.
So yes, y'all know the reward is like $25K to find these inmates. That's what the state and the
There you go,
city.
right there.
So somebody put this meme up of Bill Cosby. It had me dead, y'all. Now, don't that make y'all laugh? But I don't know, like some of the things, the decisions they was making, and so many other people have been arrested for helping them, for
Right.
giving them money on
Giving them
Cash
money,
App,
taking them
bringing
somewhere.
them food.
You gave them money when you could have got some money.
Right? I would have, look, I would have gave him
would've-
some money and then I would have said, like, here you go.
I did
Give
that
me
to help y'all.
$25,000.
I told them come here and get it.
So we don't spend a lot of time talking about local politics on here
It-
because we know that it's not very relevant to our broader audience.
Right.
But I
We love
will
our city,
say
but this
is a mess.
this was a national
and this
story.
sheriff, like that leadership, it's just not good. Like, how does this happen? And a lot of people, you know, talking about the funding that goes to the jail, but again, it's up to the leadership to make the case for more funding, to convince the voters to approve more millages. I briefly was watching the city council hearing, and the sheriff's office didn't know about bonding. They didn't know that they could bond out. They, you know, it's like
issue bonds to raise money?
Yeah.
They didn't know that.
No.
She's not supposed to be in charge.
So
If you don't know how to get money for your organization.
like this, your government.
Right?
So this is
That's
a mess.
how governments raise money.
A mess.
Fees, taxes, and selling
And
bonds.
just so y'all know, like we said, we want to make sure we explain everything. Government being able to issue bonds, it's like you using your credit card. So they don't know how to use a credit card to get what they need. And the city CAO, the CAO of the city of New Orleans had to basically explain to them on live television, yeah, you could do that. We'll be willing to help assist you with that. All while 10 people are running around the city who could be seeking
And
the
I don't think they
people-
were in there for jaywalking. I mean,
No,
they're
these were
criminals.
like murderers. And they're going, you know, they could be going after people who are witnesses. People have fled the city. DA, you know, assistant, I don't know what their official titles are, but the district attorney, you know, people
And
who
you know,
prosecute them.
And they could
are
go
leaving
after the
city.
jury.
Exactly.
Because as someone who got called up for jury duty multiple times.
Well, at least you never had to sit.
Yeah. But
yeah, if you did
I
have to
was in the
sit-
room with the dude.
Oh Lord.
I was in the courtroom with the dude in the jury selection process. So if he ever got out and ever wanted to go after people, he could find the
know
people.
who it was. So wait, they select the jury with the person being charged sitting right there?
Uh-huh.
I
He
thought
was
that
in
was
the
done
room.
like
And then when I went outside,
You have a right as a person who is accused. That's the
select your
beauty.
jury?
Well, to be present for anything that pertains to your defense or your prosecution.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
the
that
beauty
makes
of our system is that it's not supposed to be done in darkness. Trump kidnapping people.
And then I went outside and the lady said, that was my cousin. Now, if she ain't open her mouth, she could have ended up on the jury.
Well, this is
yeah. Moving on.
The whole process was a mess.
Oh, welcome to Louisiana. All right. So they caught how many of them? I don't know. As today.
The last I heard, it was 5.
Yeah.
So
I don't
still
know.
somebody
They still
out there helping them probably.
Maybe that's the smart ones that got their ass up out of the wall.
Maybe.
I don't know. They're going to catch
Because
them.
if I ever broke out of jail,
They
that's what the
will catch
fuck
them.
I would have did.
I sure as hell wouldn't have went by my grandma's house.
I sure wouldn't have got on IG and say I'm out.
Yeah. Now ain't that a bitch? All right. Warrior of the Week. We're going into Warrior of the Week. So this week we have awarded Warrior of the Week to President Joe Biden.
R. Biden Jr.
Because look at what he's going through.
Right? Again, this man has been through so much in his life.
Yeah. I can't imagine. Like the stuff that he went through, just one of the things he's going through is enough to make a person
Just give up and say, oh.
Yeah.
So the fact that he keeps going, no matter what your politics are, you have to admire the grit that this man has to keep going and to have to deal with this diagnosis, like we said earlier, and then deal with all of these people, not talking about none of the good shit you did in a short amount of time. Like literally
his
getting
whole
us.
life.
Yeah. Even his whole life, but just the 4 years you was president, just getting us out of the place where we was at stay-at-home mandates to being able to go out and mingle again.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even talking about this. You're talking about he was old.
Right. People's attention
news fucking flash.
span is too short.
That wasn't breaking news. So thank you, President Biden, for everything you have done. You deserve Warrior of the Week. And our prayers are with you, and your family
as you battle
this. And through the grace of God, you will come out on the other end of it. Now, going into Clown of the Week, that got to go to that dumbass Donald Trump Jr. because Dr. Joe Biden, MD,
really,
MD.
I'm not surprised.
Is she MD
but
or
still,
DO?
Really?
He don't know. He probably don't know what
you
DO.
don't know the difference between MD or DO.
Oh, you stupid! You one dumb motherfucker. You think she going in there? Okay, honey. No.
Cameron, is he being best?
No. Listen to your mom or whatever she is to you. I really don't know and don't give a fuck. And be best.
She ain't there. I think I read something loosely. I'm going to quote it.
She's starring in Mortal Kombat with what the fuck she wore at the inauguration.
She's only spent 14 days there so far.
Where is she? At Mar-a-Lago?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
This is going to be like, where's Waldo? Where's Melania?
Did he put her in a cave?
Did he do something to that lady?
Allegedly. All right.
So
y'all.
Clown of the Week is Donald Trump Jr.
Okay, so on that note, I think that's about it for today, huh?
That's about it.
So thank y'all so much for watching, especially if y'all got to this point in the video and to the end of the show. I keep saying the video. I'm sorry. It's the YouTube in me.
You gotta switch your brain. You gotta switch your brain.
Thank y'all for
From
watching
video
to
to
the
episode.
end of the podcast.
Yes, thank y'all.
Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials. Y'all, we are everywhere at Pragmotiv. So go follow us and connect and help us out. We need y'all to subscribe on YouTube. We need y'all to go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify, go to anywhere you get your podcasts and rate us. Please give us 5 stars. And share with your family, share with your mama, share with your cousin, share with your dog.
Share with your cat.
Help us build our audience so that we can continue to bring y'all this information.
Yeah,
and hopefully
share it.
y'all
Look
having a
at
good
these
time
crazy
hanging out
people
with us.
having a crazy conversations.
So you can also go to pragmotivplus.com and subscribe to get some bonus content, some news articles that we write about things that happens when they happen. And you can get our bonus episodes. They're also available at pragmotivplus.com. So we appreciate y'all. And as always, remember to stay pragmotivated. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.